Well, hello everybody again. I hope everybody had a great day today. I hope that the first part of the video didn't bring you to tears or to put you to sleep entirely. I hope you enjoyed a little bit of it. We're going to continue on with some of our characters in the sign of the beaver. Okay, we're going to talk now about Atian. Atian was the Indian boy who was about the same age as Matt. And we met Matt in our first video. He is inscrutable, which means he's impossible to understand. His eyes are so dark that it's impossible to read whether any of his emotion. He knows what he needs to teach this unskilled white boy and how to survive in the wilderness. He knows what is necessary to do. He's an extremely great hunter. He loves hunting and tracking, and like all Indians, he hunts for his food and not for sport. He hunts for food, for necessity. He is enormously respectful of his heritage, and he wants to make his people very proud. He's raised by his grandparents, and after his parents were killed by white men, which is why his view of the white man is filled with pretty much a lot of contempt, and initially he wants nothing to do with even Matt because of his color of his skin. He also comes to like and respect Matt as his new friend. He looks eventually as Matt as his brother, and they become very, very close. They have a very tight bond together. The next character I'm going to talk about briefly is the renegade Ben. Ben, he's a wanderer, he's a stranger, he takes advantage of people, he likes to take advantage of people's hospitality, he acts like he's hungry all the time and he needs a place to sleep. Matt offers Ben food because Matt is a kind-hearted man, as we found out earlier about him. And Ben pretends to fall asleep after he eats. So then, Matt just lets Ben stay the night. Well, Ben takes advantage of Matt's hospitality, and he repays Matt's generosity by stealing Matt's rifle. He exaggerates his daring and bravery with each story. Every time he tells a story, the story gets bigger and bigger and bigger. You've heard of somebody telling a fish story where they actually caught a fish this big, but by the time they tell the story, keep telling the story, the fish gets bigger, 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 bigger. Well, that's how Ben is. Next, we have Sockness, which is Atian's grandfather. He's the leader of the tribe. He is very pragmatic and knows that in order to negotiate with the white man, that the younger generation has to learn their ways. They can't just stay in a rut. And he's open-minded enough to know that. He wants to teach Atian how to read so that Atian is able to understand all the words and agreements of any contract or any verbal agreement, written or otherwise, that the white man tries to put in front of him. He's a proud and very noble leader. He helps Matt back to health after his encounter with a bee's nest, despite his reservations about getting involved with the white man. So even though he was reserved about taking care and helping Matt because he didn't trust the white man, he just couldn't let Matt, because of his kind heart, be there and suffer and be sick. And the one last character we're going to talk about today is Matt's father. Matt's father expected a great, great deal of his son. He has given Matt the resilience and the self-confidence to achieve exactly what Matt needs to achieve and to be what his father asked for. He's a typical settler in that he does not believe in fraternizing or communicating with the Indians. And we have to remember the time period this book is written. It was not as free and open and loving and caring as we are today. That views the Indians as savages, and that savages and the white man could not live alongside each other. His reaction on seeing all the things that Matt has made for the cabin that utilizes the Indian techniques is one of suspicion. He's a little confused by Matt's willingness to learn and influence the culture. He doesn't quite understand why he's doing that. Yet he's also impressed and proud as to what Matt has accomplished on his own because his father had left. He's inclined to treat him as a fellow man rather than a young boy. So you have to realize that Matt's father left, he comes back, and he sees his son with all these things that he's learned from the Indian, and he's skeptical. Yet he's also very proud. Now, tomorrow we'll talk about the themes and different symbols of what the beaver represents. I want you to continue reading. I want you to continue taking notes, and I will see you and talk to you later. Remember, hand wash, keep yourself clean. See you guys.